So a lot of people have been asking me recently, should we go into buying a practice? Now, obviously you've got two options. You can either start a practice from scratch or you can buy an existing practice. Now, obviously there's advantages of and disadvantages of both of them. And it's up to the individual to decide what works best for them. Now, my name is Abbas and I run the Optical Mentor Program. Now, the whole point of this podcast is to help you grow your businesses to be as successful as they can be, just as I've done with my practice in central London. How are we going to do this? I'm going to be giving you hints, tips, sales processes, systems and processes that you can implement to make your lives easier, for your shops to work smart, not hard, and grow your businesses to be as successful as they can be. So please share with other owners or other business owners that you feel could benefit from this, and let's grow together. As I mentioned, I've had a lot of optometrists, a lot of dispensing opticians come to me asking, do you think this is the best thing to do? So the other day, I actually sat down over Zoom with a couple who were deciding whether they should go into an optical business or whether they should go into another business. Now, in my personal opinion, if you're an optometrist or you're a dispensing optician, you already have the skill sets which are required in order to work in one of those practices. Obviously, running them and making sure that they're productive is a slightly different ball game. But at the same time, as in when you actually, physically have the skill set to do the job, it's already one step in the right direction. So in my personal opinion, I think that if you are in that field already, why not go into it? There's no point diversifying into something else when you can just expand your horizons in the field that you're already in. So there's a lot of locums who have been asking me. As I said, a lot of resident optometrists, a lot of dispensing opticians. So I'm going to give you my take with regards to what I would do if I was going into a practice. So let's consider it being, as I said, whether it be buying a new practice or whether it buying an existing practice, the first thing that you need to do is that you need to be making sure that your mindset is in the right place. Now, what do I mean by mindset? Mindset is key to everything. When it comes to sales, when it comes to finances, when it comes to anything that you're going to do relating to a business, mindset is key. And you need to be making sure that you are getting it right every single time. So the first thing that you need to consider is, why are you going into practice? So what is your main motivation behind it? Now, I know everyone says, financially, money is one motivator, but most of the time there is something else behind it. So is it because you've always wanted to own a business? Is it because, as I said, you want financial freedom? Is it because you want the ability to help other people outside of business by making more money in your business? Is it because, you feel that, as I said, you've always wanted to help people and this is your opportunity to help people more on a mass scale? So first off, what you need to do is that in order for you to make sure that you're going to be fully in the right mindset, make sure you understand what your why is. Yeah. Then after that, as I said, you want to be looking at what your goals are and what your expectations are. Now, it could be that, you want to set a practice up. So as I said, you've got that financial cushion so you can focus on something else. Yeah. It could be that, as I said, your target is that, you want to grow from one practice into 10 practices. Your target may be that you, as I said, you just want to be the best optometrists or the best opticians in your physical area. So again, you need to be setting goals, and those goals just don't include, as I said, your business goals. It also includes your personal goals. So for example, myself, one day we'll speak about goals, and I've got 6 different goals which I sort of aim to hit every single year. Now within those 6 sort of elements which I have, there's sometimes 3 in each one. So, you've got finances, you've got health, you've got wealth, you've got family. So there's plenty of other things related to there, but you need to make sure that you've got your goals set in place. So again, you've got something to try and achieve, something to aim for. So, if you've got all of that written in advance, what it does is that it just makes it easier for you to make a decision with regards to, yes, I should go into practice, or no, it's not the right time. Yeah. Now, we need to look at 4 things, in my opinion, when it comes to actually working out, whether the practice is right for you. So you've got, I call it, for example, the 4 Ps, and I say it with a pinch of salt and stuff, but you've got price. So how much is it going to cost you to buy the practice? How much is it going to cost you to build a practice if you're starting from scratch? How much is it going to cost you to put into the practice in order to start functioning initially? So does it need a refit straight away? Yeah, have you considered that it needs stock to be put in straight away? Does it need people to be in there straight away? Now, people, as I said, is a very important element with regards to this. And sometimes you want to be thinking about, am I going to have a business partner? I'm going to work by myself. Am I going to hire a manager in advance, etc.? What are you going to do? But like as I said, when it comes to price, you need to take into account all of these different financial elements in order for you to determine whether it's going to work out financially and be viable for you to set it up. The second thing that you need to take into account is, product. Now, when I say product, I am talking about the physical product, but you need to niche down with regards to what you are going to be doing within the practice. Because if you go into the practice and think, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, it's going to take you a long time for you to consolidate exactly what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be focusing on in the future. So if you've got an idea with regards to what your target is, are you going to be a boutique practice? Are you going to be a healthcare practice? What are you going to be servicing? What are you going to be doing for your clientele? It makes it easier with regards to your purchasing decision. Again, place. Find a location which is appropriate for your niche, which is what we were talking about a minute ago. Now, the reason for that is because, if you're thinking of making it into a boutique practice, don't get me wrong, I believe that people will buy anything no matter where they are. But at the same time, you need to be careful with regards to how boutique you make it. And based on the area that you're in, that will allow you to determine how you should set up your practice and how you're going to intend to start off. So again, identifying the location is very key. And then that leads to promotion, as in so the marketing that you're going to provide. Again, the reason why I'm saying to think about this before is because you need to be thinking about, okay, how am I going to market to people in this area? How am I going to get more clientele coming into my practice? The reason I say that is because, we used to rely on word of mouth previously. And don't get me wrong, word of mouth is the strongest form of marketing if it works. But what we need to remember is we're relying on the customers to do that. If you see one customer, in essence, the word of mouth is going to be restricted to that number. So therefore, you need to look at other channels and how you're going to get your word out. So by looking at where you are, looking at the surrounding areas, are there schools in the areas? Is there a Waitrose as an example in the area? Because Waitrose always brings up the financial value of the area. Is there a lot of residentials in that area? And so look at the area in detail, work out where you want to be, what you want to be doing, and then from that, it allows you a better indication of what you're going to go into. So this has given you some food for thought with regards to what you should do. But more importantly than anything else, you need to be making sure that you're putting a business plan together. Yeah, before you even do, before you go into the practice. So what you want to be doing is that, once you've potentially found a location, found your niche, worked out whether that area is going to give you good marketing possibilities, and you've identified, the cost of the practices and how much it's going to cost you to invest in it, you need to be putting a business plan together. Within that business plan, what you're going to do is that you're going to be making sure that, number one, you have a financial forecast in place. So it allows you to determine how much cash is going to be used over a period of 12 months and how much potentially cash you're going to be getting coming in, which, you can either take out the business, or if it was me, I would reinvest it into the business and able to make their business grow quicker. And then obviously you want to be making sure that you do a SWOT analysis. And the SWOT analysis is key, because what you're doing is you're focusing on the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats in that area. And if you don't do that, again, that comes back to the, one of the 4 Ps, which I was talking about with regards to place. What you're doing is that you're already starting from a backward place. Start up front, be ahead of your competitors. So do that SWOT analysis. Make sure that you're putting everything down on a piece of paper, write it all down. And what it will allow you to do is it will allow you to make your decision a lot easier with regards to what you're doing. Due diligence is key. And, when you do the SWOT analysis, the financial forecast, and a few other elements, that's what you're doing. You're doing the due diligence that you require in order to purchase the practice, or as I said, to go into it. My final pieces of advice with regards to it is 2 things, really. Number one, if you do all of this, it's going to make your decision a lot easier. And then some people will say, oh, the finances and I can't afford it. My question to you, or my personal point is that if you needed the money urgently in any other department, in any other form of life, I guarantee you could get it. So if you really want a practice, if you really want to go ahead and do it, you can get the money. Yeah, you can get loans from the bank because they're always willing to loan to people who are going into optical practice because it's healthcare and it's a safe business to go into. Also, if you really needed the money, yeah, there are people out there, yeah, who potentially could help you out. Yeah, as in, like, whether it be family, whether it be investors, etc. But if you don't have the conversation, we'll never know. And if you don't try, you'll never get there. The second thing which I would say is that it's never ever too late. Never ever too late. And I say that, from my personal experience, as in, look, I went into practice as in relatively early, but I started up a business about 2 years ago, and I thought it was too late to, to set it up and for it to be productive and all the rest of it, as in, and it's done well, as in, like, when I say it's done well, as in it's starting to progress. And what I mean by that is that, whether you're 30, whether you're 40, whether you're 50, whether you're 60, it doesn't matter. 60 is a bit more difficult because it's difficult to get a loan and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you have the drive and you have the motivation and you have the work ethic, you can do it. So, if anybody says to you, oh, but you're a bit past it or you're getting old, ignore them, carry on, do what you need to do. And I guarantee when it comes to you opening up your practice, you'll be successful. So, if you have any questions, if you have any queries, don't hesitate to reach out. When it comes to physically buying a practice, it's not the easiest thing to do. And there's advantage to it. And obviously, if you're trying to sort of start a practice from scratch, it's a lot of hard work initially. But then, as I said, it pays off after. So 2 different schools of thought with regards to that. But good luck and, all the best. Hope you enjoyed the content, and more importantly, hopefully there's 1 or 2 tips in there which you think, yeah, you know what, I can implement that in my practice to help me grow my business to be as successful as it can be. So please please share with your fellow professionals. And if you want to know more about how the Optical Mentor can help you grow your business, please link in the bio and we'll be happy to reach out and have a conversation to see where we can grow together.